Hey, welcome back. This is Christopher Moldong, and I am an author specializing in the fantasy genre. Today I'm going to review Rave Master Volume 21 through 25. Back in Volume 20, Haru was pretty much about to kill Lucia Raregroove. They're in this cave where these memory crystals have formed. But before I get into that, I'd like to plug my own author's website at www.chrismondon.com, where you can check out things like blogs, free short stories, and whatnot. You can also buy some of my works, starting with my first novel, an action adventure called The Monster Prince in the Condiment Kingdom, for $4.99 on my author's website at www.chrismaldon.com on PDF format, or if you have an e-reader uh, such as in Kindle, you can buy it on Amazon.com. From my author's website or Amazon.com, you can also buy my short stories for only $1.99, such as the fantasy horror short story, The Land of the Wooden Statues, which I'm currently trying to make into a full novel. My horror collection, which is a compilation of 3 of my gothic horror short stories, and my fantasy Fable collection, which is a compilation of 4 of my fantasy Fable short stories. You can also follow me on Twitter and like my author's page on Facebook. Links to all these will be provided on the description. Just a warning, I will be giving out spoilers for these volumes, and I'll start by recapping what happened, and at the end I'll give my own personal thoughts and opinions about the events that have happened in these volumes. So let's get started. In volume 21, Haru is taken over by Sacrifar and about to kill Lucia. The memories in the cave are starting to resurface. Um, so seeing that Haru is about to kill Lucia, Shuda is looking on and about to strike Haru to stop him from killing Lucia. What ends up happening though is Ellie, she gets Plu and throws Plu at Haru, stabbing him in the head and removing Sacrifar's control over Haru. As this is happening, Muska questions why his grandfather put Sacrifar into 10 powers to begin with. Um, so Lucia gets up and he uses his own Sacrifar, which he can control, unlike Haru, who couldn't control Sacrifar. Since Sacrifar just pretty much claimed all of Haru's right hand, Haru cannot use his right hand. So Lucia just defeats Haru. He just, um, he fights with him, strikes him down, and defeats him. But before Lucia can kill Haru, Shuda makes a trade. Haru for a Sinclair Stone that he had on him, and Ellie's life. So he's about to like kill Ellie with his sword, and then he has the Sinclair Stone, and he wants to trade it for Haru's life. They do make the deal, and after the exchange, Lucia stabs Shuda, um, which you would think he's presumably dead. So seeing Shuda slayed by Lucia, Haru gets up and punches Lucia and continues to fist fight him. Haru, with his fist, destroys Lucia's sword, the Decalogue, and then Haru and Lucia then have a fist fight. Haru wins the fist fight and grabs a sword to kill Lucia. However, he doesn't kill him, and Shuda tells Haru, "You're doing the right thing." Haru revealing that he actually isn't dead. So the memories in this cave are transforming, and they turn into a monster called Endless. This huge, monstrous thing. So during this time, as Endless is there, Ellie is speaking as if she is like Russia Valentine, talking about Endless and whatnot. Um, then the Demon Lord Megiddo makes his entrance by flying chariot and attacks Endless. It temporarily stops him. Megiddo mentions that Endless signals the end of this parallel world, whatever that means. It's very cryptic. Megiddo then rescues Lucia, and the group escapes to a forest east of the ruins. Um, So Shuda, he managed before they escaped. He managed to steal one of the shards that shows like memory. Um, he then shows his memories to the group. It like kind of projects like memories, like a projection type deal. And it shows that Shuda went to Garage Island, but then as you go on, it's pretty much implied that he, not just implied, but more or less, he has a relationship with Haru's sister Catalia. Um, and there's this running gag of him being like Haru's future stepbrother. It's actually pretty funny. So through the one of the Rave Stones, Saga Pendragon tells them that they all must defeat Endless, and that Ellie, with the power of Ethereum, may be able to defeat Endless. He tells them to defeat Endless. He tells them to defeat Endless at Star Memory, so that the Ethereum doesn't destroy the world. Um, During this time, it's revealed that Shuda sent a message to Sieg Heart to get the Sinclair Stone that Haja the Infinite has. So they go to like Sieg, and you're seeing pretty much stuff that's happening with Sieg Heart right now. And he comes back to his home, the city of Time Million, and we're introduced to Hild and Flicka. And then we're also introduced to Miltz, the ruler of Mildian. Turns out that Haja is working with Miltz in Mildian, and that Haja wants to control time, and Miltz is like, cool with that. Sieghart is accused of treason for not getting rid of Ellie, um, and the whole city, which consists of like over 1,000 mages, all go and like attack and seize Sieghart. Um, Haja then the Infinite tells him that he has defected from Demon Card, and he was born from Mildian. They then imprison Sieghart, and then we're introduced to this young mage named Nebel, who helps Sieghart escape by pretty much taking the form of Miltz. Um, so as they're escaping, Nebel and Sieghart are talking, and Sieg, thinking that the people of Mildian have changed, is told by Nebel that he himself has changed. Because pretty much he had this mentality of like, oh, I gotta protect time, I gotta protect time. And like the people still have that, but Sieg, after like his meetings with like Haru, Ellie, and all them, he's not like that anymore. He's not just about protecting time at the expense of everyone else. Um, so they're escaping, but the citizens of Mildian, all mages, stop him from escaping. So Sieghart, with just a magic sword, fights all of the 1,000 mages, including Milt, who he defeats. And it turns out that his magic sword was used to absorb magic power. And the volume ends with Sieghart about to battle Haja the Infinite. So in volume 22, Haja takes Sieg below Mildian to the heart of Mildian, and then Haja reveals that he wants to be the master of time and to control time. They then fight, and so they use like a lot of cool powers. Haja like summons this ship that has this like beam that can like that's like super strong and whatnot. It's actually a pretty cool, fantastical, magical battle going on. Um, so Nebel is waiting for Sieghart, and Nebel, Militz, and Hild go underground to find him. It turns out that Sieghart and Haja have been fighting for over 7 days straight. Um, and then, after some reflection, Miltz, Hild, and Nebel end up joining Sieghart to fight Haja. Miltz and Hild, they like realize that like what they're doing is wrong, and they all join out to fight Haja. Um, and Haja, I mean, this was pretty obvious. but like he reveals that he just came to Million to use the people. I mean, it's pretty obvious that this guy had like no intention of like being like. I don't think he's a demon card, but like he's in it for himself pretty much. So they keep fighting, and Seaheart actually grabs Miltz's staff as his last resort attack. He gets his staff and goes up and stabs Haja with it, and he defeats him. The mentality being that like magic and because they're fighting each other with magic, and they're all like mages and whatnot. Um, you're not gonna beat the magic guy with magic. You're gonna have to use like just a normal non-magical weapon. So the staff was the thing. Haja then self-destructs with Sieg near him, suggesting that they both died. With Haja dead, it is revealed that demon card scientist Igor Kilkilla was inside of Haja the whole time. You actually see that Haja when he removes that his like I don't know, it's not like a hat, but whatever, his headgear. There's like another mouth, which would where his forehead would be. Um, so Igor Kilkilla is a scientist. So a little backstory with Kilkilla, because you may not remember him, but he had ties with Deep Snow. So when King, after Demon Card was destroyed by the Empire, King went to this one place, which was a Demon Card facility, and the scientist Igor Kakilla was there. Um, and he was the one that was testing on Deep Snow. He's the one that put the Type 66 Darkbring into his chest. It's also revealed that Haja the Infinite had a Type 66 Darkbring implanted into his chest as well, which is why he is like the Infinite, because he has that like super strong Darkbring in him. Um, so Igor, he's about to kill like Milch and all them who are like badly weakened, but Sieg gets up and he's actually alive, and then he stops Igor Kukula. Um, Milch announces that Sieg is the strongest mage out there, but then like Sieghart mentions Shakama, the world's mightiest sorcerer, and Milch is not actually familiar with Shakama, surprisingly. Um, so they go back to Haru and his group. They are out of money again. Haru has difficulty using his right arm. Saga then tells Ellie that through the Rave Stone that if they win this battle against Endless, that she'll never see her friends again. So after talking, they conclude that like they're near the town of Rebellia, which has a dance competition for money, and they decide to compete in the dance competition to get some more money. So in Rebellia, Branch is introduced, and he is with a girl named Mika. Haru is extremely angry with Branch and knows him from Garage Island because Branch used to date Catalia, and apparently he was like a terrible boyfriend. Turns out Branch and Mika are going to compete in the dance competition. A masked couple appear before the group who call themselves the Dragon Dancers and are also competing in the dance competition. Mika also reveals that Branch is actually a demon card, and he's a demon card captain. Mika sends a letter to Mika telling her to meet with him alone later. So, Lazenby, who is one of Deep Snow's men, is with the group, and he's going to compete with Ellie in the dance competition as the Rave Stars. So, so back to Musica. They have their meeting, and he finds out that Mika is not a real name, but he isn't sure if she's with Demon Card or not. So she's just kind of there. She's with Branch as a dance partner, but you don't really know what she's doing there, but she's not who she seems. It's also revealed that Sheba is in Rebellia and has encountered Branch, but Sheba is actually just passing through. Um, at at the end of the chapter, it's like Mika's seen with this giant rifle, and it seems like she's up to something. She reveals that he's heading north to find Alpine. He does not run into Haru or any of the group. Um, so the dance competition happens, and Julius from Duration 6 is introduced on stage at the dance competition. And it turns out he is the previous winner of the dance competition, and it's known as the Dancing Prince. Um, while this is happening, Musica figures out that Mika is an assassin, and her target is Julius. Ellie, um, but what happens is on stage, Ellie comes on stage and shoots Julius in the head with her Tonfa blaster. And then at the end of the volume, Lasby drinks something that was spiked by Branch. Turns out to be a laxative, so he's gonna probably be going to the bathroom for a while. So in volume 23, Lazenby needs to use the restroom. um, Turns out that Julius is going to compete with an inflatable doll as a partner. So Lazenby is in the bathroom, so Ellie is on stage alone. The band that is making the music for this dance competition plays something old that Ellie recognizes. She then dances to it, and the history of the dance competition is revealed, um, showing that a giant snake terrorized the village. A wandering dancer came, and while the snake attacked the village. However, when this woman danced, it mesmerized the snake, and the dancer turned out to be Russia Valentine. Ellie dances, and she just mesmerizes everyone who watches it, including Julius. Ellie then wins the competition with the maximum amount of points available, which is 999. Julius then gives up on dancing in the competition. And then, as this is happening, Mika, she's in a tree, about to shoot Julius with this, one gun with a sniper rifle. But Musica interferes. She then shoots Musica in the leg. um, as this happens, it's then announced that Demon Card is attacking from the north. So Haru is pretty much the only one able to defend Rebellia. Musica has his leg shot, and all his party members really can't. Shudo's injured, so there's this army of 100 that are gonna attack Rebellia. Then the Dragon Dancers come out, and they defeat the whole army, and they reveal themselves to be Let and Julia. Yeah. So Musica then comes back, and he is reintroduced to Let and Julia as well. They go into Julius's room and find out Mika has a gun pointed at him, and it turns out that these attackers are actually not Julius's men, but they're from the Blue Guardians, which is one like the groups that I believe have one of the Sinclair stones, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Ellie's dance touched Julius so much that he turned to the side of good, and then Mika tries to actually kill herself, but is unsuccessful. Branch finds out that Mika was just using him. So they go inside of this cave. The whole city, since it's being attacked, they go inside, or the whole village of Rebellia go inside of this cave that's being used as shelter, and they devise a plan to counterattack the enemy. So outside, this giant crab scorpion-like creature is attacking them. The monster stops attacking, and they show a scene in an airship with Branch presenting Mika as Ellie to the enemy, the Blue Guardians. Branch gets the monster to attack the city, or the people in the cave again, and the villagers join in to fight against the monster. Before the monster unleashes an attack, though, Ellie gets in front of everyone to seemingly protect and sacrifice herself. Then the giant snake from the legends appears and defeats the monster. They use the giant snake for transportation and chase after the Blue Guardians. Um, we're introduced to one of the Blue Guardians is, you know, non-Goon Squad guys. Um, he has this weird thing with sleeping. This guy named Sean, and he's introduced. And then Branch reveals that Mika's real name is Nagisa, and that she's the daughter of Yuma, who is the leader of the opposing group of the Blue Guardians, the Freedom Fighters, um, who are like this group of Freedom Fighters. Uh, Branch is Sean finds out that like Nagisa isn't Ellie, obviously, and then Branch is forced by Sean to interrogate Nagisa to find out where the Freedom Fighters' base is. So we're introduced to Koala, who is this kid. He looks like a koala of the Blue Guardians, and he's introduced. He gives Branch a bunch of tools to pretty much torture Nagisa. Um, so they get on the ship, Haru and the group, and Let and Haru fight Sean, who put them to sleep with his dark ring. Mizuka, Julia, and Ellie find Nagisa, who had just been tortured by Branch, and seeing her tortured, Mizuka goes on this frenzy, and he just beats up Branch bad. Koala comes in this robot suit, and Mizuka destroys it with one punch. Then, like, Mizuka's on this rampage. He finds, like, Sean. Sean tries to use his dark ring on Mizuka. It has no effect on him. And Mizuka just punches Sean and defeats him. They then take a plane. They call them ships. They take a ship and leave, and that's it. End of volume 23. In volume 24, Nagisa wakes up as Mizuka puts the plane on autopilot. So Mizuka is now on top of the plane, and Nagisa goes up there. She's all bandaged up and whatnot. It's a really sweet scene here, actually. Like, they're just talking. She'd like to thank him. He doesn't accept. She jumps off the plane, and Mizuka saves her. And it's pretty much also that he can, like, accept her thanks. It's a pretty sweet scene, though, actually. On the plane, a message is sent from the Blue Guardians that they have found the hideout of the Freedom Fighters. So they go to the hideout only to find it completely normal. There's no alert status or anything like that. So we're introduced to the leader of the Freedom Fighters, Yuma and Secto. He's this big guy. Everyone calls him Daddy. And yeah, so Nagisa tells Yuma that they are being attacked by the Blue Guardians, but Yuma figures out that it was just a trick by the Blue Guardians to find their hideout. So back on the Blue Guardian ship, Koala mentions that they should round up all the members of Six Guard. So we're introduced to Giraffe and Leopard from Six Guard. Giraffe's this guy with this like hair. Leopard's this one like cat girl. So they're introduced, and then as they're they know that they're going to be attacked, so they're trying to figure out how to stop the attackers, and they find out that the Freedom Fighters' hideout is at a really disadvantageous position. It's on like lower ground. There's only one entrance. So what happens? There's only one entrance, the front entrance. So Yuma guards the front and only entrance. And then Haru joins up with him. He just sits there, right? So this goon squad comes in, tries to attack the hideout. Haru's just sitting there, right? Yuma's about to fight. And then Mizuka and Let come out, just defeats him. Defeats all the goon squad. Yuma's in like awe of these guys, and Haru actually reveals that he's the Rave Master. So afterwards, that's just the first line of attack. Then the whole Six Guard appear to invade the hideout. Yuma tells them that the 6 guard might be as good, if not better, than the Eurasian 6. I have, yeah, I'm a bit, I have my qualms about that, it's just like, you know, like, Hodge of the Infinite was fighting for 7 days straight. I mean, come on. Anyways, so we're introduced to Lucan, who has this like is it a shark or alligator like thing going on, and he's introduced, and also this other guy named Rave of the 6 guards introduced as well. He's kind of like this weird, uh, he's some weird animal, you know. Um, this giant like animal type guy. But anyway, so Ruby comes out, and Let comes out, and they battle Sean at the front gate, and Let actually defeats Sean. Julia fights Reval and defeats him. Haru and Ellie fight Koala, but Koala, he has a machinery Darkbrain. Pretty much his Darkbrain can make anything into any type of machine that he wants, and he carries Ellie away. Haru then fights this armored person with a sword, but he's not 6 guard. Um, Ellie falls into an underground cavern and finds a staff that she addresses as my staff. As she's saying this, that Symphonia symbol shows up on her arm, which, like, pretty much shows that she's like Russia at this time. It's still like uncertain what the whole Ellie and Russia connection is. Apparently, this staff is the time space staff, and it's her staff. The Symphonia symbol vanishes, but Ellie still uses the staff, and with her power of Ethereum, defeats Koala. It's like a mini Ethereum, though, where she can shoot like balls of Ethereum, so it's not like the super destructive Ethereum. Haru's opponent almost stabs Haru, but stops and tells him, "Help me," and that's the end of Volume 24. So, Volume 25, Haru's opponent turned out to be Branch, who was modified by Koala. Branch wants Haru to kill him, but Haru cannot. Ellie, Griff, and Plu make it back to the surface um, with staff in hand, and end up in Yuma's room with Koala in a modified robot suit that protects against uh, magic, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Haru then appears and destroys this robot that Koala made and demands Koala to change Branch back, but he says that he can't. Um, this scene's actually a bit ridiculous. So he makes him cry, right? He actually wets his pants too, Koala. So Haru makes him cry, so Koala's like crying as he's walking, and he just like takes the time space staff, just like takes it, makes this small little ship, plane, and flies away. And he takes the time space staff with him. So it's then revealed that there's a bomb somewhere in the Freedom Fighters' like hideout, and it turns out that the bomb is inside a Branch, and he pretty much sacrifices himself. What happens is the Freedom Fighters launched a Liberal Familia, which is this like ship, like this really old ship that apparently has some ties to Yuma. And Branch stays behind, and then he presumably explodes and dies. Um, so Yuma, during Liberal Familia, he reveals that the staff has the power to summon Endless. Then we're introduced to a character named Belnica, who's with the Blue Guardians and actually apparently has the power of Ethereum. We're also introduced to Jellybone, who's this old guy. I think he's a doctor that's with Belnica. So they go to a city called Meal City to like restock and whatnot, get fuel. They send Haru to get some fuel, and he runs into Belnica, who actually heals his right arm, which was damaged from Sacrifar. So Ellie comes by to pick up Haru, because he actually falls asleep, him and Plu. But and she sees Belnica, and they feel something from each other, like magic, something, or whatever, you know. So they leave, and Belnica says that she'd like to save the world with the overdrive. So, um, it's very don't really know what's up with Belnica yet. Apparently, so we're introduced to Hardner, the captain of the Blue Guardians. We finally actually get to see his face and what he looks like. And Belnica apparently believes that Hardner wishes for peace. So we're also shown the Blue Guardians' flying fortress, the Albatross, and Nagisa. So reveals that Yuma used to be one of the Blue Guardians. So Yuma and all of them they're on the Liberal Familia, and they shoot at the Albatross. And Yuma has this big plan to apparently in the Liberal Familia they have a bunch of Blue Guardian ship. So Haru and the gang, the plan is for them to fly to um, into the Albatross, but damaged. So yeah, so they pretend to be shot at ship and return to base. But so they try and come through with this plan, and as they fly in, Hardner figures out that the ship Haru and the gang are flying is not one of his, and tries to shoot it down. So Haru, using gravity core, they make it inside of the Albatross. Inside of the Albatross, they see a bunch of Blue Guardian soldiers dead, hinting that someone else is on board as well. Just don't know who. Hardner then reveals himself to the group and tells them that he has someone else who can use Ethereum. And with the Albatross, he is headed to the Mystic Realm, which is the home of like Let and Julia, and like the demonoid guys. Hardner then tells them that the Mystic Realm will be destroyed by the power of Endless. And so as this happens, he leaves, and then Koala comes out and a new robot and attacks them. But Julius and Shuda reveal that they are also on board and stop him. They are not the people that killed all those Blue Guardian guys, though. They just got there. So as Haru's on board and invading the ship, Belnica gets wind that there are intruders and decides to stop them. Koala, he uses his Dark Brain to separate the group, but afterwards, an unknown person attacks and kills him. At the end of the volume, Haru falls right where Belnica is, not realizing that Haru is an intruder. So that's the end of the volume. Some things to note, and this is really big, and this is something that actually bugs me with Haru a lot. He needs to realize that Lucia is not playing under the same rules as him. I mean, he's all like, oh, why did he do this? Why did he kill him? Why did he kill Shuda, man? His back was turned, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, he doesn't play by your rules, man. you know? He doesn't fight fair. He doesn't, he's not in it for the greater good, for justice and whatnot. And he's got to realize that, hey, he does not play by your rules. I was a bit surprised to see Haru defeat Lucia, actually, in a fist fight, It was pretty cool because, like, apparently Lucia had a broken hand and still tried to punch Haru with it. And now you got this other super villain that made his appearance named Endless, Is Endless the main villain of the story? Is it Lucia? Like, what's going on? Obviously, he's gonna be an obstacle to Haru's path. I don't know if he's gonna be the final obstacle. We shall see. And then Megiddo saved Lucia, so Lucia will come back. Obviously, come back to fight another day. Shuda shows himself to be pretty funny. Actually, was quite taken aback that he got together with Catalia. Sieg's Heart battle in Mildia against mages and Haja was just awesome. I mean, it's just like, oh, there's 1,000 mages, you'll never beat them, and he just goes and starts just slaying all. He doesn't kill him, but he just like defeats them all like with ease. And then it's like he's fighting Haja, and it's like 7 days, and it's like, whoa, this is cool, you know. It's also cool that Miltz and like Hild, they finally like saw the light. They wanted to change, and they helped Sieg. That was cool. I like Nebel. The only problem is like he's presented as his kid, but he doesn't really act like a kid. You know, he's kind of like um, he's a little too precocious. I guess maybe he's just like ahead of his years or something like that. But he doesn't act like a kid really. The dance competition was kind of fun. You know, it was neat seeing Ellie winning the thing. Um, you know, there's still big questions about this whole thing with Ellie and Rachel. Like, I'm hoping they reveal it in later volumes, but like, obviously they're connected. They don't know how, but they are. There was, there was this really great scene where the whole village fights of Rebellia fights against the Blue Guardians. The mayor is like demanded by the Blue Guardians to give up Ellie, and like he like just refuses and breaks the radio. That was pretty cool. Um, Not a fan of Branch, but he was perfect for who he was. You know, just kind of like he's unlikable. He acts very unlikable. You're not supposed to like him, and he actually found a point of redemption at the very end. You know, it's um. So at least he kind of redeems himself at the very end. It's also cool that Let came back with the group with Julia, and Julia is also a really strong fighter. She's a cool character. She's kind of like the tough chick of the group. Um, Ellie is kind of like that, kind of not, you know. Speaking of tough chicks, like what's up with Nagisa and Musica? Because they have this thing going on. I don't know if they're gonna get together or anything, but you can tell that Musica has some weird like drama when it comes to women. There's stuff with Reina, and he had a girlfriend before that. He always has like issues with women. I don't know what it is. I like the character of Yuma. I think he's a cool character. He's like the giant teddy bear kind of type guy. Like he acts tough, but he's got this like heart of gold. You know. So he's a neat character just in that sense of just like the like badass with the heart of gold, pretty much. Um, Once again, I take issue with Six Guard being as strong as Duration Six. I mean, okay, so Duration 6 was like Haja the Infinite, Burial, Jigen, Julius, Reina, and Deep Snow. And Deep Snow and Sheeta are interchangeable. First of all, Haja the Infinite is the Infinite. Like, you're not gonna fight that. You're not gonna beat that guy. He has a Type 66 Darkring. He fought Sieg Heart for 7 days. You're just not gonna beat that guy. Deep Snow, Type 66 Darkring. Reyna's beatable. Julius is beatable. Jagan's pretty tough. Burial's a Duke of the Demon World. That guy's pretty strong too. I'm just like, come on, man. Like, Sean, he's not that strong. He has a Sleep Darkring. Revel wasn't very good. He was just kind of there for a chapter, and then he gets beat up by Julia. Koala keeps losing, and the kid pees in his pants. You know, I mean, come on. He's not that great. But that kid, man, he's something else. Like he is. He's one of the worst characters there as far as a villain because like he really doesn't realize just how bad his actions are, and doesn't seem to care. He thinks it's like what he's doing is all right. Turning Branch into the robot, wanting to torture Nagisa. I mean, he's if anyone's like truly deceptively twisted, I mean, you can say like Hardner or something like that, but Koala is actually a really deceptively twisted villain because he's like this kid, and then he does all these like really terrible things, and has no remorse about it whatsoever. I I take issue with the way that Koala took that time space stuff though. That was, he's all crying and he just like takes the staff. As he's crying and flies away. I mean, it's so far fetched. I mean, it's kind of comically like ridiculous. You know, it's like, oh come on. I mean, they could have found a more creative way for them to like take the staff. I mean, I guess it was a more comedic way, but come on. And then Hardner, what an unlikable character. You know, I mean, he's just kind of this jerk. You know, like he's extremely unlikable. He has no redeeming qualities, and there's no motivation as to what he's doing. We're probably gonna figure it out. I mean, we figured it out with like um, with Doryu. You know, he had some real motivation to do what he's doing and whatnot. But Harner, we still need to figure out his motivations if he has any. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my manga reviews for Rave Master Volumes 21 through 25. Please join me for uh, next time for my manga reviews for Rave Master Volumes 26 through 30. We're actually almost done. Hopefully I can finish this soon. And also, please check out some of my works, starting with an action adventure called The Mustard Prince and the Condiment Kingdom for $4.99 on my author's website at www.chrismaldon.com on PDF. Or if you have an e-reader, you can get it on Amazon.com. That book is greatly influenced by anime and manga. There's a lot. It's actually not that different from Rave Master. You know, you got the group, the you know, the swords, the sorcery, and all that good stuff. Um, Also, for just $1.99, you can check. You can buy my short story, "The Land of the Wooden Statues," the horror collection, or the fantasy fable collection. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any comments, just leave them below. If you have any recommendations of anime and or manga for me to review, leave that below. And yeah, I'll see you guys again real soon. Thank you guys very much.